Hi, and welcome to week 8. We are going to talk a little bit today about the midterm. So I would like just to reflect a little bit about the midterm. I know that some of you haven't taken the midterm yet, but this test will give you an idea of what the final exam will look like. You have until tomorrow, Monday, to take it if you haven't done so yet. If you had a problem taking the test at Fairbanks because they didn't make my test available, even though I sent it last Tuesday, please let me know. By now the problem should be solved and you should take it either at Fairbanks, Barker Cypress, or Tomball. While working on individual topics, you have been dealing with a couple of paragraphs and not a long passage. Long passages and long articles allow you to practice all the skills together. So the midterm also should help you to practice to read purposefully, annotate, and also practice some speed reading, because when you're taking regular classes like history, psychology, and so on, you will be having to read many pages at a time. So I hope that you get used to that. I will set up a question about the midterm on the discussion so that we can discuss what you thought about it, ask any questions you may have, or anything else that you'd like to help each other with. Once everyone has taken the midterm, I will post some feedback with correct answers so you can check areas where you might have had difficulty. Remember that this test was written by the regular English committee, and it's the test that all regular DS students take. The idea is that by now you should be almost ready to take any college level class. Also, if you would like to take a look at your own midterm, you can come to my office during office hours and I'll be glad to show it to you. If you are far away and you cannot come here, I can scan the test and send it to you, but I would much rather you come to my office so that we can talk about it. The next thing I want you to know is our chapter this week has to do with inferences. And so I have made available a couple of PowerPoints, and I want to show you here. Here, inferring PowerPoints without sound, and then there is one that you can listen that has more explanations. I would really advise you that you take your time. It'll probably take you 10-15 minutes to listen to this PowerPoint, as inferences is not an easy topic. So I think that this will really help you. Of course, besides this, you can start with a PowerPoint from the chapter like you do every week. But this one is just going to have additional information. So I strongly advise you to use these two PowerPoints. This one is without sound, you can just read, but I would rather you do this one with sound. The next topic I want to discuss briefly is outliers, and as always I have posted model answers for the chapter. We did chapter 5 last week, so this is answers from one of the students who had pretty good answers, and so I am giving you some model answers there. And then of course the chapter summary. It's really important that you before you start doing outliers for the next week, that you have a good understanding of the previous chapter, so that you do both of this. You look at the chapter summary and you take a look at model answers. So if you go here to review and summary for outliers, this is where you're going to find the summary. And so let me show you a model answer with the paraphrasing. So the first question last week for chapter 5 asked you to paraphrase. One of the things I want to remind you is that when you paraphrase, you have to include the same information. It's not a summary where just include the main ideas. Here you include the same information, but you use your own words, you use your own style. So let me give you here an example. Let's read first what you had to paraphrase and then what somebody did with it. So it's a rags to riches story, and everywhere we've learned so far from hockey players and software billionaires and the termites suggests that success doesn't happen that way. Successful people don't do it alone. Where they come from matters. They're product of particular places and environments. Okay, so those are the words from your text. Now let's read what somebody else said and see if it's similar or not. Even though the story refers to a situation in which someone rises from poverty to wealth almost instantly, success does not occur spontaneously, as we figured out through reading about termites, professional hockey players, and software billionaires in the book. Also, it is important to take into account the place where a person was born, as one is product of both the place as well as one's surroundings. As you can see, the information is the same. This person didn't take away any information, but the style is a little bit different. So here is an example of one that's pretty acceptable. Finally, I just want to mention about next week. There is no new chapter next week because I want you to continue working on paraphrasing. You're going to read a couple more articles, and something that I want you to do is to choose an article. It can be from a newspaper, it can be online, and then you're going to summarize that article, and then you're going to make an inference. You can either share the article, the whole article with us, or just one of the paragraphs that you are inferring some information from. So that is something that I want to let you know from now, so you can start choosing an article. It doesn't have to be a very long one, but one where you are inferring some information, and we're going to share it with each other. We will probably put it in the discussion board. Okay, well, that's all that I have for you this week, and I hope you have a great week. Thank you.